Hey, what's up, guys? We're back this week with another movie review for you. It's Roger's pick, week 1 of October. It was Soylent Green, 1973, Charlton Heston, set in 2022. Yeah. Pretty good. Yeah. I liked it, so we'll let you start. Why'd you pick the film?
Just one of my favorites. Big Charlton Heston fan because I discovered him when I watched Planet of the Apes when I was in high school, and I got him he's got some cool science fiction films, and it just led me through the Omega Man to Soylent Green. And this film was awesome. Did you like it?
I liked the film. Yes.
Yeah, I liked it.
Enjoyed it? Okay.
I thought it was good. I really did. I thought it was an original take, you know what I mean, on science fiction. This was an original movie, right? Was it based on something?
It was based off a novel.
No, it definitely is out there.
It's a retro future.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Yeah. She's playing that computer game.
Video game.
It's called Computer Space, which is the very first arcade machine ever mass produced. So, for people that watched it back then, that was the first time they ever saw something like that.
Yeah.
But now I have that game on Atari 2600 called Space 4. So it's,
Nice.
yeah, it's kind of, if you look at it that way, I guess it's hard to accept the world that
It's funny though, some of the worlds reminded me of a 70s disco. I was like, what are they doing for 70s disco here? The retro era came back.
it's definitely 70s.
Oh,
in the
for
future.
sure.
Yeah.
There was a couple shots. There was one where he was following the dude. There was all these nice angles as the guy's going up the steps. In the beginning, whenever he's going to murder that guy with the pick in the head, and you see the guy walk up some steps that had some nice angles in that shot.
When I watched him go into the people dropping into the water and stuff like that, or what that solution was, I was like, holy shit! It was creepy to watch that stuff for the bodies.
Yeah, that's creepy. Yeah.
Church when he first goes in, that was a pretty.
The lady laying down.
Yeah, the lady laying down with the kid tight.
Oh,
yeah, I love the camera work there because you only see the dead woman. The
Yeah.
camera stays on the dead woman.
You're like, oh,
and then
dead
it
on the
moves
steps.
down to her arm where he checks her arm and you see this rope on it. And then you follow the rope down to the child sitting there, and he takes the rope off the child's arm and picks the child up.
He starts
and
crying.
It's excellent camera work there. There's another scene when they come in, because you brought up the staircase scene. When all the furniture are all gathered, all the women in an apartment. The way he introduces each woman real slow. Not every one of them, but the camera introduces each woman real slow. It just moves around.
Yeah, it moves around between
It's
them.
really well done. I love that scene.
Yeah.
When you talk about camera work, I find it excellent.
They
Well,
don't-
I was
scenes.
just going to
The
comment.
fight
Yeah,
scenes
that's
were-
what I was
fight
going
scenes
to
were
Yeah,
awesome.
the fight
Yeah.
scenes are.
That's what I was
Yeah,
going to
they're
ask. Did
super
you think
awesome.
the fight scenes worked out? I should have just asked.
Yeah.
I think the fight scenes worked out pretty darn well. I mean, they were gritty.
There's a lot of
you know?
fight scenes.
There
a lot of
were.
fighting.
The first one was
There's a lot of
awesome.
civilians getting shot. A lot of innocent people getting shot.
Yeah, the crowd. That was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Charlton Heston and Chuck Connors, the two Chucks, go at it and have
They do.
They battle out through the whole film. Thought that was pretty cool because Chuck Connors is famous for his role as on the Rifleman.
They have even a similar appearance to them. At that time, would that have been an Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone
Very
kind
much,
of
very
mashup
much.
thing?
It's your action stars.
Yeah, it's your action stars of that time. You it out in the same film, really.
I like Charlton Heston in this role. I think he played it well. Yeah, I think it was a great cast.
Well, Charlton Heston's the shit.
I think Charlton Heston's awesome. I think some of the side actors were, they were what they were at the time.
Well, he is working with Edward G. Robinson, who is a legendary actor.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have the appreciation for him that he deserves or not.
Probably not.
Probably not.
I mean, does
But
nobody?
I don't know. I'm just saying, when I say that, I mean, some people know that he's a legend, that he did all these films, and then some people don't know who that is. So I don't know what you guys know. You have to help me out. But Edward G. Robinson was a huge star. He was the
he in
gangster.
20,000 Leagues Under the Sea or something?
Edward G. Robinson?
Yeah, was he in it?
Richard Fleischer, I think, directed that. Who directed this film? He was, big gangster back in the 30s and stuff. He was, Little Caesar was one of his big films, but he was like Cagney and Humphrey Bogart. He came from that era, before the Hayes office, before they started restricting things with the Hayes Code.
It's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea as well, you guys. Yeah, he did direct it.
Richard Fleischer directed it.
Now
was Edward G. Robinson in it. I love how Charlton Heston appreciates the water. the hot water.
Yeah,
soap.
taking a shower. He's
The
like, have you ever
soap,
seen a cake of soap this big?
And which actor?
Edward G. Robinson.
I mean, it's not the main one here.
I think the story's compelling, as well as the imagery. There's like this haze outside everywhere, like this greenish kind of smog everywhere. All the
I
plants
want to
are.
point that out, that when I rented this in high school from the library, public library here, it was even worse on VHS. Like the whole, I watched it on DVD and I was like, oh, it's really not that bad. It was really heavy and green. I mean, real green.
Because it's killing off everything and pollution. And
Well, it's the greenhouse effect they're saying.
Yeah.
Everything's getting hotter. And they're
like winter used to be.
overpopulated. Yeah, that one little park that the governor met in was the only tree sanctuary in New York City.
Yeah.
And it was just tiny.
It's like this little
bubble.
tinted off bubble, and it had like some trees like this tall or something.
Like that would be horrible. It would.
Oh.
It would just be. This is a horrible place.
You're walking to your
It's a
apartment.
horrible place.
It is. This movie, I think, is still effective today when I watched it, as it probably was then, in making me feel like a couple things that it probably wanted me to feel. One, I need to appreciate the life I have now, and do my best to preserve the life I have now and with the way of life that we have now, because we don't want to live there. That's the second one. You don't want to live there.
Well, I mean, it's
You don't
funny.
want to live.
You don't want to be old enough to be those sad, poor people.
You don't want to be Saul.
No.
You don't want to remember
what it was like
to
to
have
before.
plentiful food.
And now we
Open
just
your
eat
fridge
more.
and just have it full of food.
Yeah.
Don't want to miss those.
Well, I think that opening scene, that's your favorite opening scene, when it really some of the people that are watching those films back in '73, they showed the miners. I think they had a photo of the miners. They had photo of a kid fishing back in the 50s, you would say, maybe late 50s.
I think it went
and when
pretty far back.
they tried to relate.
Yeah, it
with,
goes far back to the start.
They almost could pigeonhole most of the crowd that was still alive at that time, to really drive it home to them, you appreciate all those simple times when you were a kid.
Industrial age, I would say.
I think it was like the 20s and 30s. I think they most of the.
Yeah, I mean, so think about it. If you're born in 1920, you're going to be 53 years old watching that film. If you're born in 1940, you're going to be 33 watching that film. If you're born in 50, you'll be 23. So you remember all the times it touched the audience, and purposely tried to make a point with that. I feel back in that time.
I see.
For us, they would have showed kids playing video games. They would have shown.
Well, I see it's the start of the industrial age. He's showing people.
How we got there.
Yeah, and it just starts getting more crowded. The cities get more crowded. It's showing automobiles packing freeways. It just shows interstates being built. It shows how the world got industrialized.
To drive it home to that audience, though, really went to that audience.
Well, I think it goes to any audience. It
It tells you right away, this is how we got to here. I think it's doing this big montage over humanity goes from simple life to eating each other, and it shows that progression and sets you to 2022.
And then it spits you out, like Dave said, and then you're in this new world. It's excellent. Like I said, it's my favorite opening title sequence. It also has, I think it's Ken Burns style documentary making, where he takes a photo and you drift over.
Hands
across,
I think it's Ken Burns style. Well, it does that, right?
Yeah,
all
it
those
does.
images are still images.
It makes you feel kind
like
of
a
weird
documentary
too.
It gives a documentary feel to this movie. So when the movie ends and it does that again at the end, it feels like a documentary to me. Like you're going in and out of documentary.
Yeah, at the end was like to show the film he saw at the end. That was awesome. I got moved during that whole scene. I was very emotionally moved during the scene of him, Saul Lane, watching this film, and obviously Charlton Heston's Thorne is very emotional as well. They're both crying.
He's really emotional.
The deer, you look at it. I mean, it's just that scene, the music. It totally evokes the emotion I think it's supposed to. I mean, it's overwhelming. It's overwhelming with the score and the scenery and the guys dying and
And here's the thing: this was Edward G. Robinson's last film, his last role, and he died of cancer and he was dying at the time. And Charlton Heston was one of the few people that actually knew this. Nobody else really knew that was working with him, so that's why they say that Heston's performance was so strong there when he's in that scene, because he was able to really, bring forth real emotion. Because his friend, that his acting, colleague was really dying of cancer.
Jeez.
So.
Yeah. That's insane to play a scene out like that before you're.
Well, it's like John Wayne played the shootist. He played an aging gunfighter dying of cancer, and that's what he died of. he played himself out on camera.
I think it's in the drink.
Yeah,
in the Kool-Aid or whatever.
It's crazy.
That's
Just
what
walk
I
on
asked.
in.
Jim
and
Jones
just walk
juice.
in.
Right.
Yeah, the Jim Jones juice,
Well,
exactly.
what's the purpose of that? Just get you over it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what he talked about the whole time through the movie. Like,
I
I
should go
should just
home.
always go home. He's always talking about going home. And it's like, that's the idea is you just give up. But I don't know.
He
I
couldn't take
understand,
it,
I
obviously.
understand the world that
Yeah.
you're in. It's not a good world. Look at the people who are living in like stairways stacked. They're homeless. It's
Trying
just
to get up
44 million people in New York City. It's just a horrible place to live, and that's why when we see them moving the bodies to the trucks, it's just one after another.
Yeah, it's constant.
Yeah.
There's a
It's
constant
almost
flow.
sickening to see that it's just
Yeah.
that way. To me, and if you're really absorbed in the movie, which I am.
It's terrible. Nobody wants to live in this world. I don't, it's weird. Charlton Heston, Thorne is, he's just like, so what? Because he's never saw it before.
Yeah,
The
he's
whole
growing up
movie,
in
he's
it.
just like,
Yeah.
it's fine.
He
I can
didn't know.
deal with it. It's fine. It's how it's always been, Of course, when he sees it at the end and he says, how could I have known, and you're just like, oh my gosh. I don't know what's worse, what's
Never
worse?
knowing?
To be Saul and have seen it with your own eyes, or to
lose it?
see it in film,
For the first time.
for the first time and be like, what did I miss? What did I miss out on? That's a bygone era. I don't know what's worse, but it's just miserable, the whole thing.
I'd like to talk about the furniture that women are.
Yeah, women are furniture. They come along with the apartment, right?
That they're lucky.
Yeah, if you're lucky, you get to come along with the apartment, and rich guys will feed you and take care of you pretty good like a pet.
Yeah, you're a pet, you're a dog.
She was lucky at first, and then Charlton Heston came in. That was a strange scene with the maitre d' or the pimp or whatever you want to call him, Charlie. Yeah, get out of here! Charlton Heston, Thorne in this is kind of an asshole.
Oh, he's a dirty
total
cop.
jerk, totally dirty.
He's like a Dirty Harry type.
Yeah.
Just takes
Cop.
everything.
Well, I think he's worse than Dirty Harry, though. I mean, he seriously steals from people.
Yeah.
So I don't think Clint Eastwood's character, Dirty Harry, did he steal from people like that? I mean, just take their
I
shit.
don't
like
think
it's
so.
food? No.
He's like,
This
go get
guy's
the booze.
dirtier than
Go get
that.
the booze.
He's like, give me the booze. He leaves with a pillowcase full of shit, and like steals their food.
Yeah, he's a dirty cop.
He's dirty as shit.
Yeah.
He's more like Denzel Washington was dirty in
In
Training
Training
Day. Yeah, he's like that kind of
I didn't know
dirty.
you like to get wet.
Maybe not quite that bad. But even though he's a dirty cop, nobody can take the truth. He couldn't take the truth of that world.
I didn't understand, like, when he walked into, like, the stairwell, he's walking around those people. Are those people just, like, allowed to stay there? Or they just
They're
don't care?
homeless.
They're home. They don't care. Nobody... Are they, like...
There's a guy that watches with the machine gun.
Almost
AR,
every building they go into that has residents, there's always a guy with a machine gun
An AR-15.
guarding
Well, it's just like-
staircases.
yeah, you get to a certain
Don't
level.
get up.
Yeah,
They'll
you
let you
don't-
sleep on the steps.
Yeah.
That's it.
I gotcha.
There's so many people. Watch where you're stepping. It's like, dude, you're on a staircase, man. What do you mean, watch where you're
But that's
stepping?
what it would be like. I know it would.
What?
Yeah, watch her.
This topsy-turvy world, I don't want to be a part of it.
Go sleep outside.
Love the scene when they eat too, and they like. Charlton Heston isn't impressed with lettuce,
Yeah.
He's
He's
like,
like,
and Saul Edward G.
He's
Robinson
like,
is
oh.
able to like really capture how much he enjoys and appreciate what he does,
He's like,
what he's
"What'd you-"
doing, what he's eating.
yeah.
what was that, like, they made, like, a beef stew or something like that? What
I
was
would
that?
assume that
I
was
would
the
say
beef.
it was a beef
Yeah.
stew.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, so happy, and then he's like, oh, not so great, maybe, but it's good enough.
I like Charlton Heston when he took the first shot of whiskey, too, and he's like, ooh!
It was hard.
He's like,
"Whoa."
oh, man. He's just like, holy crap, that just happened. That's awesome.
Man, Saul took it pretty good.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, good stuff, good stuff.
Yeah, I hated to see Saul go.
Yeah.
You hate to see that, but what else to do?
Well, that's the story.
Yeah. Now he becomes so angry, like they show him going into the machines and stuff.
Yeah, it's messed up.
Yeah, it's messed up.
It's messed up. That's
Saul
why,
Free
like,
suicide.
when you bring up Soylent Green, people like laugh and joke about it's man of the people. It's like if you really think about that, that is fucked
Yeah,
up.
well,
It's
I
not
think
funny
you
at all.
almost have
Yeah.
to joke about it in order to like cope with such an idea.
Maybe.
Like half the world.
We're half the
Over half the world. I think
Yeah.
that's what the quote was. They feed over half the world. So.
But
you
it's
don't
like the
know
main
who-
food supply
Oh
for
yeah.
the people.
But Soylent Green was...
Not the elites, perhaps.
It was originally plankton or
high
whatever.
energy plankton.
Yeah, algae or
Yeah,
whatever.
because they have like They have
and
yellow,
soy.
green, or
Soylent
yellow.
yellow.
Yeah, Soylent yellow and other
Soylent
colors
red, Soylent
So
green.
that are like vegetable ones. And
That's
then
great.
yeah, Soylent green is supposed to be made out of.
It's like the way you really
It used to be. It was at one time made
it
out
was
of
at one
plankton.
time.
Mhm.
And
That
then-
was the first solutions.
Yeah.
But yeah, oceans are just toxic now.
Yeah, they're just dried all up, or they just don't have any plankton. It's all
Yeah.
nasty.
Well, it said that they poisoned the water, they poisoned the air, and the soil, they ruined the soil. He's got all those books in his own place.
Yeah.
You know, that's something that's very striking. In this world, they come in there and there's just all these books, and you're thinking, wow, you know, and books are rare because they don't have much paper or trees anymore and stuff, so books are valuable. Ruin the water, it's pollution. You pretty much, that's what you get the gist of. And he explains this whole gist. He's like, the world was better before, now, you know, he has to ride, you know, your electricity's browning out. It pretty much sets the setting for this world. This is what daily life is for somebody that's like middle class. You know, this is middle class life now. You ride a bike for power. You go stand in line for government food that's Soylent.
You get water rations.
You get water rations, you know, you don't get showers, you don't have soap. You wonder what they're doing in the shitter, you know, for like toilet paper and stuff,
We
you
don't
know.
go there. We just
You know,
don't-
yeah, they don't
we
even go there,
yeah,
you know.
The whole
There's
other
no-
animal to tackle.
No paper. You know, you got some rags by the sink
Yeah,
or
it's
something.
like Demolition Man. They evolved
With
to the
three
3
shells.
seashells.
Yeah, to be in New York and no, really. I mean, they're getting celery and they're wilting. And he's like, "Isn't that beautiful?"
Yeah, wilted
Ah, jeez, wow.
That'd be the,
We would just throw that away, you know, nowadays.
Yeah, when I open the fridge or eat food nowadays, I mean, I think about this movie all the time. These scenes from this movie, how much they appreciate their food, and how much I appreciate my food. I think about it all the time. It's made a huge impact on me. When I was young, I don't know, like when I viewed it, like I could tell, I knew the message was just very heavy, and it affected me very deeply. And I love Charlton Heston. I like really was connected to his character in Planet of the Apes. A lot of people think that's just a movie about monkeys dressed up, but
Apocalyptic kind of movies.
He did Omega Man
like
as well.
Omega Man as well. Yeah, man, $270 for that pitiful little pile of groceries.
Did dirty.
They're at the store. It's all like locked up and stuff, you know, and it's
the camera like comes down and lets you really see all what they're buying.
what they're buying. It's like this pitiful little pile
It
of
comes up
stuff.
and the clerk says $274.
Yeah, because government and business at this time were going to be the same thing.
It's peaceful moments, like this movie has those kind of moments.
It does have those reprieves from the real world, but it just drives home more. And when you're watching it, you get this short reprieve, but that's what you do when you're torturing somebody. You let up on them. so that it's worse, and they don't get numb to it.
You're learning what filmmakers do, man.
Yeah, I know. It was made. I think that emotionally and psychologically it really got to me. Now, I don't know if it would do that for everybody who watched it.
I don't.
Like, it's terrible. It's just like,
terrible.
and I'm sitting here like, oh, I don't want to be so bad. I don't want to be that guy.
No,
And
you
I
don't
look
wanna-
to the future and I'm like, please don't let that be, you know, go organic, everybody. Just go organic.
Man, dude.
Don't let them poison the soil. Save
Don't
the
let 'em
fucking honeybees. If you don't save the honeybees, you're going to be eating Soylent Dave. And I don't want that.
Or
Nobody
David
wants
Spade.
that.
No, I'm
No.
telling you.
No, that is not looking
No,
up.
nobody wants this movie. It's a nice shirt you got there. What's that say?
Oh, Soylent Green.
Oh yeah? What's that
Yeah.
got to do?
It's a metal band.
This is also the film, of course, where Charlton Heston, you know, I get my neckerchief from.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
told you that before,
Yeah.
right? I mean, I watched this movie so much, and I just kept seeing him do it all the time, and I was just got to the point where I was obsessed with it over it, and I was like, I want to do that. That's awesome. I want to be able to like tie that in like moments like that. Like, just have moments like that where you put on. So that's why I wear it, because of Charlton Heston and Soylent Green. That's the reason I want. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah, I
you
think
always
you told me
Yeah,
that before.
Alrighty, well, Roger, what do you give the film?
I give it a 4, and I say it's great.
4? I give it 2 thumbs up. Dave?
I think it's a great film. I think it's it's a good film. I'd recommend it.
Next week is my pick.
Yeah.
I'm going with Jacob's Ladder.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's horror.
It's
It's
horror film picks here.
It's October.
It's horror film
I never
picks.
thought
and
I would have to
Dave
watch this movie
hates
again.
Jacob's Ladder.
I actually watched the movie 3 times because it is such a compelling film.
All right. Well, next week, come back. Jacob's Ladder, Halloween picks. See ya. Out.